Motivational interviewing is another method GPs can use when discussing alcohol and other drug use with young people. It assists you to find out where the person is in the stages of change and target your intervention to where they are and where they want to be. It can help to identify the motivation behind a young person's alcohol and other drug use, or what could motivate change by promoting engagement and minimising resistance and defensiveness. Motivational interviewing is very useful when people are in the stage of change we refer to as ambivalence. The core skills for good motivational interviewing follow the acronym OARS. Asking open-ended questions, using affirmation, reflecting the young person's thoughts back to them, and summarising your understanding of what the young person has said, with an emphasis on the things of greatest concern to the young person.
Let's consider these one by one, with an example of a 16-year-old girl who smokes cannabis with her boyfriend. Open questions are used to open up the conversation. They allow the young person to explore their own motivations and behaviours without the GP leading them to an answer. So rather than saying, "I think you're smoking cannabis because you're stressed," ask them, "What have you noticed about the times when you want to smoke? Notice anything in common about them?" Affirmation acknowledges the way the young person feels and allows you to explore further. It is important not to affirm a young person's sustained talk, meaning any talk that favours continuing the status quo. For example, "I can't give up cannabis because my boyfriend likes me to smoke it with him." Instead, an affirming response might be, "I can understand why you want to spend time relaxing with your partner." Listening reflectively is at the core of good motivational interviewing. Pick up on any change talk, "I want," "I could," "I need," and reflect it back to the young person, either as a simple reflection. So you've said you smoke because your boyfriend wants you to, or a complex reflection. It sounds like you smoke cannabis because your boyfriend is interested in it and you want to make him happy, rather than because you want to do it on your own. Finally, motivational interviewing uses non-judgmental summarisation to demonstrate you have been listening and understanding the young person's perspective, highlighting inconsistencies and supporting them to move from ambivalence to determination. So here, you would say something like, "Let me try and pull this all together, and you can tell me if I've missed anything important." You've identified that you mostly smoke cannabis with your boyfriend because he finds it a great way to relax together. You really enjoy that time together, but sometimes want to be able to relax without it. Have I got that right?
I find with adolescent patients, it's useful to emphasise choice. A core skill in motivational interviewing is avoiding argument and rolling with resistance. Remember, as GPs, we have the opportunity to see our patients at the next consultation, where we can continue the conversation and support them at whichever stage of change they are at. Let's finally go through a consultation that shows the skills we have covered in both videos. Note when particular skills like simple reflections, non-stigmatising language and confidentiality are brought up, and consider how you would incorporate your own manner to better fit with your consultation style. Hi Nathan, what can I do for you today?
I've had a cold and I couldn't go to school today. Mum said I should come past you and get a medical certificate because I have a test today.
Yeah, sure. And are you 16, Nathan?
Yeah, turning 17 soon.
Okay, look, thanks Nathan. Just before we go any further, I want to reassure you that everything we talk about is confidential, so I won't be passing any information on to your parents or anybody else unless I've got serious concerns about your welfare or your well-being. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Great, Nathan. So what symptoms do you have and when did they start?
When I woke up on Sunday, I had a runny nose and a sore throat. I was really tired and I slept through most of the day.
Sure. And any cough or fevers?
I've been coughing a bit, but I haven't had a fever.
Okay. Would you mind if I asked you some more personal but routine questions just so I can get a better picture of your overall health?
Sure.
Okay. Some people your age smoke cigarettes. Do you smoke? So just to reassure you, everything we talk about here today is kept confidential.
No, I don't smoke cigarettes.
What about pot?
Oh, I smoke pot sometimes.
Okay. How often would you smoke pot?
Just on weekends.
Okay. And do you smoke when you're on your own, or you tend to smoke more when you're with a group of friends?
When I'm with friends.
And when did you start smoking pot?
Probably about a year ago.
Okay. And how much money would you estimate you spend every week on pot?
Around $20.
Okay. And do you smoke through a bong or do you use joints?
Generally it's through a bong.
Okay. Do you mix it with tobacco?
Yeah, we usually mix one cigarette in.
Sure, okay. And how many cones in a session do you think you smoke?
Probably around 4 to 5.
Okay, and how many sessions in a week?
Typically 2 to 3.
Sure. And where would you be when you smoke pot?
Just at mates' houses.
Okay. And tell me, what do you like about smoking pot? What do you see as the positives?
Well, it's a lot of fun when me and my mates are around. It's always more fun when we're stoned. Just hang out, play video games, laugh heaps.
Sure, so it's like a part of a social sort of thing for you. And what about negative things? Are there any negative experiences you've had with pot?
Yeah, a few times. I don't know why. I think we got bad weed. I felt really nervous and scared.
Okay, so you've had a couple of negative experiences with pot. Do you know much about the harms pot can cause?
I know it's really bad for your memory. Apparently you can go crazy if you smoke too much.
Sure, you're right about the effects on memory, and some people do get mental health problems when they smoke pot. Would you be okay if I gave you some more information about what the effects of pot are?
Sure.
So Nathan, we worry about the effects of pot and alcohol and other drugs on young people in particular because the brain is still developing and therefore it's quite vulnerable. And the other thing is you can sometimes make some decisions which might be potentially harmful for you.
Yeah, I remember hearing about the effects of it on the brain at school, but I really haven't thought about it too much.
Yeah, sure. So would it be okay if you came back in 2 weeks and we continued our conversation about pot? Would you be okay about that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. And between now and then, would you be able to, either in a diary or maybe by making notes in your phone, just write down how much pot you're smoking and how you feel before and after you smoke pot, and where you are when you smoke pot? And that way we can get a kind of a sense of how pot is affecting you.
Yeah, I'll try to do that.
Okay, that'd be great. The other thing is, do you think it's possible for you to reduce the number of cones that you smoke in a session?
I suppose I could cut it down to 3, but I don't want to stop completely and I don't want my friends to notice anything.
Okay, I mean, 3 sounds achievable. So how about you make that the goal, and then when you come back and see me, we can see how things are going for you.
Sure.
Remember, whatever the level of substance use, the first step is simply starting a conversation. As a trusted health professional, you might be the first one to ask about the young person's consumption, identify their risk factors, or really delve into their motivations for substance use. Together, we can help protect adolescents from substance-related harms.
The 5th A is arranging, whether that be follow-up or referral. There are youth-specific alcohol and other drug services. Or you can call the Alcohol Drug Information Service, or ADIS, on 1800 250 015, or look up the Your Room website to find out more. If you would like to talk with an addiction specialist about a young person, call the Drug and Alcohol Specialist Advisory Service, or DASIS, a 24/7 phone line on 1800 023 687, or contact your local drug and alcohol service.